Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here on a beautiful, rather rainy morning at the Siege of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. We're at the last day of April, guys, and the moon is in Virgo. We did have an early morning opposition to Saturn. Anybody was up at that time? I actually was up. I did a podcast with Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. She has a new channel with podcast, a new podcast channel called Random Sage with Marianne from Revealing Light. I don't think it's up yet, but if you guys want to check it out, I think she's going to put it up later today, so you can keep your eyes peeled for that. Again, it's Random Sage, and we had a lovely conversation about the end of the world. Actually, not quite, but the theme was, let's see, dystopia or something else. I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I don't ever remember exactly the titles, but it was spirited and lovely, and it's always a good time to spend with Marianne. So what's going on today besides that opposition as well? The opposition to Saturn gives us a sense of how far we've come and how much further we need to go. But once the sun rises and it's up in the morning, we have a lovely trine of the sun to the moon. Of course, the sun is in Taurus now. This is a trine, an earth trine. And so whenever we're dealing with the earth, we're dealing with practical matters, right? So a lot of practical matters. There's a flow to the energy. And then later today, that's the morning. And then later today, we have a trine to Mercury, which is retrograde in Taurus. But that Mercury retrograde in Taurus points for us to look in the direction of Scorpio as to what we need to release and let go of. And so we have more of an idea around that. And at the end of the day, we do have a more challenging sesquiquadrate between Pluto and the moon. And what I think that may bring is a need for us to make a little bit of adjustment in our message in order for more people to hear it. So even though you may believe something wholeheartedly or believe your side of the, not so much your side of the story as much as the information that you think people need to know, maybe not everybody is willing to go quite that far. So maybe you need to step back a little bit. Oh my goodness, look at this tree. We have all of these apple blossoms that are going to blossom. Now this is an apple tree. What is that called? Granny Smith. And we very rarely get a lot of apples, because we don't spray. And so, but this year I think we're gonna spray a little bit, but we only use organic stuff because we do have the issue with winter moths here. So hopefully we'll get some delicious apples from this tree. And the other apple tree, the old apple tree, that's a Macintosh, by the way, the one in front of the office. That one has given us quite a few apples over the years. Not pretty ones, because of course we don't put anything on them, but delicious. I don't know if you've ever had like a fresh apple off a tree. It's just amazing. I'm sure many of you have. A lot of people like to go apple picking in the fall as something to do with the family. But when it's even different, more different in her. Sorry about that. That was a little joke. When it comes with your own tree, look how lush everything is getting. I can't believe the greening that happens here. And of course, I'm going to be going to Ireland soon, and I'm assuming it looks just like this, all green. I don't know if they have the the winter gray, taupey, muddy, stark season like we have here. I really should do some research, I guess, but I just want to go and enjoy myself, 'cause it's later than I think. Enjoy myself, it's later than you think. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at these lilies. They're just popping up. These are tiger lilies here. Of course, they don't really come up for a while, but the green is certainly greening in, and a lot of the taller blade-like things here are the irises. They will be popping up soon, I think. The roses filling in, and of course, our bleeding heart. And hopefully some of these roses went through a little bit of a challenging winter. Although we had a temperate winter, we did have a couple of days where it was really, really cold and then windy on top of that. And it's not the cold so much as the wind, I think, that affects the plants. Now, if we look over here, we can see, like here, I think you can see the apple blossoms popping up. Yeah, and then the moss on the tree. Just such a beautiful and magical morning here. And thank you for sharing it with me. So, good day to get stuff done. There's a lot of flow. It's kind of like wrapping it up in a nice, neat bow, which is ridiculous because April was so not like, well, there was a little bit of a wrapping it up in a nice bow in April, because we did see some big changes happen in the culture, in the outer world. And that's really reflective, honestly, guys, that's reflective of the changes we have within ourselves. So, Tucker Carlson is out. I would take some responsibility for that if you're living your best life, even if you had absolutely nothing to do with it, because it shifts and changes the energy. We are much more powerful than we know. It's just that where we apply the power that matters. And when we apply it to our own soul's path and being in alignment with our higher self, then miracles happen. And you don't ever have to call and complain for people to lose their, somebody like Tucker to go out. Now, I know it sounds like I'm taking credit. I'm not. But it's this idea of putting your energy, because even with somebody like him, the more you despise him and the more you hate him, the more energy he has. They feed on. They're like vampires. That's what's kept Trump alive all this time. It's not. It's the attention. He's like an attention-seeking missile vampire or such the like. And so pay attention to the things that matter in your life, and pay attention to the things and the world that you want to see. And so whatever that may be, if you put your attention on that, that's what becomes of it. It is true. Sometimes I haven't believed it, but I've seen it happen, and I've seen it happen in my life. And I want to say something that's, and even if it doesn't, which I don't believe is true, I do believe we have influence through our vibration. I'd rather spend my time creating in the direction of heaven on earth, as opposed to worrying about when the devil's coming around the corner. So, all right, guys, have yourself a wonderful day. Give you a couple more views. Michael's in the garden. He told me not to show him. So if you see somebody in the garden, it's not Michael. Just kidding. All right, here we go. Love this tree. This is a river birch, and it's starting to leaf out. And we also have back there, if you can see it, the whitish or creamy flowers there. That's the dogwood, and when that blooms, oh my God, it's like being in the canopy of heaven. And I don't know if I'm going to be in Ireland when that happens, so see if we can get Michael to go around and do some pictures for us so you can see spring from both sides of the pond. Yeah, it's starting to, this is all starting to bloom. Lovely, beautiful. Hello guys. Oh yeah. Lovely. Isn't it lovely? I don't think the Blue Jays like my singing. Everybody's a critic. All right, guys, take care. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.